Some people say there's been too much focus on Paris already. I'm like, God, it just happened. Today it's been 24 hours. Goodness gracious, gosh. It just happened. Now, Wednesday, you could say it's too much focus on Paris. But for a terrorist action to take place in a tourist capital of Europe that is an ally to the U.S., it's kind of... I'm having a hard time understanding how it's too much coverage when it's only 24 hours. You know, it's only 24 hours. Next week, you could say, Tim, hey, man, you know? So people are saying there's too much coverage, too much focus on Paris. And what I want to get into is I want to put it out there for everyone to make their comments about it, but I'm going to go first. Okay? When will people realize that money controls it all? It's not, when people, look, and I'm going to speak directly to my people, man, but you know what? They're the only people I see saying this. You know, so I don't want to be Stephen A. Smith. I do not like Stephen A. Smith's tack with coming at the black community for everything. Jump on, black on, jump on, jump on, jump on, jump on. I do not like that, and don't make me be him. Stop with the rhetoric, man, about you. Listen, man, just because the Young Turks cover black on black crime don't mean they care about you. It's all about money. Just because MSNBC covers Tamir Rice doesn't mean they care. Just because they cover Chicago doesn't mean they care about it. It means they can make money from it. How many of you remember Farrah Fawcett Jr.? She played in The $6 Million Woman. Very attractive, young, blonde-headed woman. Very attractive, beautiful woman. I said attractive twice because she was very attractive. How many of you remember when Farrah Fawcett died? She happened to have the misfortune to die on the same day that Michael Jackson died. So no one talked about her until she was in the ground. Now, that wasn't because they were racist towards Farrah Fawcett. It's because Michael Jackson was Michael Jackson. And she was blonde, blue-eyed, beautiful, well-known icon. She shattered many records. When she was there, when she came in, I remember that. I'm looking back, I was a kid. I remember the $6 Million Man, and I remember the $6 Million Woman, or whatever she was. She was a $100 Million woman. She was, this was an iconic lady. And when she died, no one paid attention. It's because the king of pop died. And he did a lot of stuff to his face, but underneath it all, he was still a brother. And all I'm saying, it's not because they loved Mike so much. It's because we did. You understand? That's why they kept showing them, because they knew the people were going to watch when they talked about Michael Jackson. So this is my point, guys. We're talking about Paris, France right now, and everyone's talking about it. I talk about a show every night. Every night I do a show. I didn't do a show about Paris last week. I didn't do a show about terrorism last week. The news cycle ebbs and flows. I do a lot of stories about black on black crime. I do a lot of stories about police brutality, almost to the point, right now I could probably be at 300,000 viewers or fans or subscribers instead of 50,000 if I did if I did less police brutality or all police brutality. See, I do so much of it, but it's not all the time, but I do so much that it turns people off who are not expecting it. And then I don't do enough where it will really get people who just want to see that, who want to watch it all the time. You understand? But please, we got to get to the point where we understand that money dominates the news cycle, not feelings. They're talking about Paris because they know it will get attention from us. Now, I'm not saying everybody who covers it doesn't care either. I'm not saying there aren't good people who cover stories. I'm not saying the Young Turks don't care. I'm not saying Cenk doesn't care at all about the stories he covers. I'm not saying that. I don't know him. I'm not attacking him. What I'm saying is money moves everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar Dollar Bill, y'all. Now, we know these songs. We know this. But we think somehow when it comes time for us to apply it to our own lives, we don't want to. We want to get emotional. And I do it too. You know what? I remember when Robin Williams died. It was right around the time when there was a death. It was I think it was Eric Garner. And I was highly pissed off. I lost about 100 subscribers because when Robin Williams died, I was talking about Eric Garner. I think it was Eric Garner. And then Robin Williams dies, and Eric Garner was gone, and all people talked about was Robin Williams, and I was pissed. And I did a tribute video to Robin Williams, and at the very beginning, after I said I feel bad for Robin Williams, I started talking about Eric Garner. I lost 100 subscribers that day, which was a lot for a guy who had about 5,000. And I got a lot of hate mail. But I felt that Robin Williams would have understood. He was a humble guy anyway. One little guy on YouTube don't change who he was or what he brought to cinema. And I respected him. But I wanted to talk about Eric Garner. I was upset. I was emotional. But looking back, I realized that I can't be mad at people. You have to be mad at media. And who controls media? You got all of these magazines. You have all of these publications, all of these channels. They're owned by 3 companies, y'all. They're owned by 3 companies. And y'all going to have to bear with me while I get through this. And I hope that you listen to this rant because it's very important. Our media is run by 3 companies. Your media is run by 3 companies. But you know what? You can't use that excuse no more because you know what? We all can be our own media. You can have 50,000 viewers too. You can be a media source just like I am, but you know what you got to do? You got to work every day like I do to build an audience. Then you have to talk about information that people actually want to watch. You got to put it in a format that they want it to be in, and you have to be consistent, and you have to be relevant, and you cannot be worried about people liking you to the point where you forget what your mission is, and you can't be worried about money. And you have to do it every day for 2 years like I did. And you have to build your own brand. You can't sit back and complain about CNN and about Fox and about HLN and about MSNBC. You have the internet now. You have no reason to complain. You can create your own entity just like I did. I'm 41 years old. I'm a black guy in Maryland with no money doing it. And I'm doing it every day, but you sit back and you complain that they're not showing your death, that they're not showing what's going on in your hood. You sound like Ice Cube. You sound like Doughboy and Boys in the Hood. They don't know, don't show, or don't care what's going on in the hood. When you have a computer and a webcam, but you can spend all day taking selfies. You can take selfies all day and put them on Instagram, but you can't cover a story in your own neighborhood and send it to people. You can take ass shots with your butt on your sink on Facebook, but you can't do an article. You can't write an article for Medium like I did. You can't put out an ebook like I did. You just don't want to. So when you complain about mainstream media and then you go watch the Young Turks who were funded by Al Jazeera, fund them from the start. When you go spend money, when you go watch MSNBC, when you go watch CNN, when you go watch Fox News, when you go watch HLN, and you leave guys like me with nothing, where I got $50 on my fucking PayPal, or my fucking Patreon, but you complain about media, but when I ask you for something, I can't get it. And I've been doing it for 2 years without your help. Now, if you're not going to help me do it, at least you go do it. And don't complain that I'm not covering black people dying in Nigeria when you won't send me the story. Because I'll do that story. I will cover that story. But you got to send it to me. You have to tell me about it. But this is what we do. Everybody with a Twitter account wants to get on Twitter and complain about what the man is doing to him. But nobody wants to do anything. Everybody wants to be the man, but nobody want to be the man. Everybody want big muscles, but nobody want to lift weights. Nobody wants to do a show a day like I'm doing. From 0 subscribers and build it up. Nobody wants to be called fat, ugly, black, stupid, nigga, asshole, too old, too fat, too boring, too silly, too loud, too goofy, too this, too that. Had to put blocks on your fucking filter because they calling you nigga every day. No one wants to do that. But what they want to do, they want to complain that the media doesn't cover their stories. But you can create your own channel right now. You can't say there is no media coverage of events. So today I'm talking about Paris. I didn't talk about Paris last week, though. I talked about Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland, Eric Garner, Gerard Crawford. I'm sorry. It's not Gerard Crawford. I'm thinking about the gun shooter. I think his name was Gerard Williams, who shot somebody. And the point is this, guys. We can't sit back complaining about what we don't have when we have it all. We have it all. We have it all. We have all. We have everything right now. But I'm talking about Paris because those people in Paris ain't got nothing to do with the fact that MSNBC is not talking about Nigeria. Those people, I should be able to talk about that and not be called a Tom or a coon or a sellout. Because you weren't here last week when I wasn't talking about Paris. When I was talking about your neighborhood. When I did the videos on Chicago that you didn't watch. That you didn't share for me. That you didn't send me $10 for. Those videos that you can go look up. I got 800 plus videos right now. Very few of them are about Paris. And all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, we cannot complain about what media doesn't do for us. It's for business. They do it for business. I do it for the love, man. But I got to keep going. But they do it for business. CNN, MSNBC, HLN, they're all owned by companies. They're all owned by the same companies. Dude, they don't care. Stop thinking because they exploit the fuck out of you for money that means they care about you because they talked about you. At the end of the day, they don't care. Just because they did a story doesn't mean they really care. I just know I never seen Don Lemon damn near blow a blood vessel trying to explain what's important and what you could do to get in this and what you could do to add your voice to the equation so you can stop feeling powerless, like your issues are overlooked, like no one cares about the things that matter to you. I tell you, I do a show every day, folks. Every day, 9 o'clock, by myself. Luckily, I have some people who call in and they help and they're online right now. You know? You could be a part of that. Stop telling me what the media don't do for us. We can do for self.